All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about social skills. You know, that invisible toolkit we're all supposed to have for navigating conversations, meetings, you name it. It's such a huge part of our lives, but man, sometimes it can feel like the hardest thing in the world to get right.
I mean, seriously, who hasn't been there? That moment when the conversation just dies, or you have no idea what to say next. It's a totally universal feeling, and it's exactly why we're going to break this all down today.
And this is where it gets kinda weird, right? We are fundamentally wired to connect with other people, but the actual how-to part, that doesn't always come naturally. For a lot of us, it's a skill we actually have to learn and, practice.
So, where do we even begin? Well, we start with the foundation, the unwritten social rulebook. Just think of it like the basic code of conduct that helps us all get along without things getting too chaotic. The official name for this rulebook is etiquette. Now, I know that word can sound a little stuffy, maybe a bit old-fashioned, but really all it is the set of expectations for how we act around each other. It's the what you're supposed to do.
But why bother with all these rules? Well, knowing the basics of etiquette is about so much more than just knowing which fork to use at dinner. It's how you make a great first impression. It's how you earn respect. And it's absolutely crucial for building trust and making your relationship stronger, both at work and in your personal life. These rules aren't just random. They serve a real purpose.
Okay, so let's take this idea and see how it actually shows up in our day-to-day lives. Because etiquette isn't just for some fancy royal ball. It's for your work meetings, your phone calls, even a friend's wedding.
And you can see it right here. We take those big principles like respect and consideration, and we just adapt them to whatever situation we're in. At a work meeting, that means showing up prepared. On a phone call, it's all about your tone of voice. At a wedding, simple stuff like, show up on time. Every situation has its own little playbook, but the goal is always the same. Just making the interactions smooth and respectful.
So we've got the rules, that's etiquette. But just knowing the rules, that's not the whole picture. The next level, the thing that really matters, is understanding the reason behind the rules. And that, my friends, is where manners come in.
This quote just nails it. It's not really about the technical rule of not chewing with your mouth open. It's about thinking, how would this make the person sitting across from me feel? It's basically empathy in action.
And here's the absolute key takeaway. Etiquette is the what. It's the code of rules. But manners are the why. It's that genuine care for other people that makes you want to follow the rules in the first place. You can follow etiquette perfectly and still come off as cold, but you can't have truly good manners without understanding that why. All right, we've talked about the ideas, but how do we actually get better at this stuff? Let's switch gears from theory to practice and start building out your very own social skills toolkit.
And here's the best part, honestly. This is not some fixed trait you're born with. You're not just good or bad at social skills forever. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can get better. It's not about some magical overnight transformation. It's just about putting in a little bit of effort consistently over time. So what does that effort look like? Well, the source material gives us this awesome 7-step guide. I want you to think of these as the fundamental building blocks for social confidence. We're going to go through each one because when you put them all together, they create a really solid framework for building much stronger connections with people. Number 1, and maybe the most important, just be yourself. People have this incredible, almost built-in radar for figuring out if someone is being real or fake. Trying to be someone you're not is totally exhausting. And the funny thing is, it usually just pushes people away. The foundation of any real connection is authenticity.
Next up, it's all about finding that sweet spot. Being responsible just means you understand the vibe of the situation and act accordingly. And being approachable, that's about striking that perfect balance. You don't want to be so shy that you seem closed off, but you also don't want to be so loud that you're just taking over the whole room. You're aiming for a warm, inviting presence.
Okay, this one right here might just be the most powerful social skill there is, and it's so rare. We live in a world where everyone is just waiting for their turn to talk. So being someone who truly, genuinely listens, it's like a superpower. When you make someone feel heard by not cutting them off, you create an incredibly strong bond.
And being polite goes way beyond just saying please and thank you. It's about being humble. It's about making people feel comfortable because you're down to earth. The goal is to find that sweet spot where you can be honest and direct, but also tactful and kind about it. And finally, you gotta keep your social radar on. Be aware. Pay attention to people's body language and their comfort levels. Read the room. And also be a little cautious.
Real trust takes time to build, so maybe don't share your deepest secrets with someone you just met 5 minutes ago. Let those relationships grow naturally.
So, when you boil it all down, what does it all mean? It means you don't have to become a master of all 7 of these things by tomorrow. The real journey to becoming more confident and skilled in social situations, it just starts by picking one small thing and practicing it.
And that really brings us to the final question for you. Looking back at everything we just talked about, from the rules of etiquette to the superpower of listening, what's one small step you can take this week? Maybe you'll focus on not interrupting people, or maybe just trying to be a bit more approachable. Whatever it is, the choice is yours.